With Jupiter Ascending out now, let's look at 12 things you probably didn't know about the Wachowskis' sci-fi adventure. Caine Wise may zip and zoom about on a pair of air surfing boots, but in reality, actor Channing Tatum used a pair of skates on a system of ramps, platforms and cables to give the feeling of airborne movement. With the help of 6 men pulling wires behind a green screen, Tatum rollerbladed at 4.5 miles per hour on a giant 3-sided treadmill 4 meters long and 2 meters wide. Of course, the wheels of the skates were erased during post-production. Pro inline skater Corey Miller from California and vert skater Ty Chris from France helped train Channing Tatum and the Jupiter Ascending stunt team. Tatum had no previous rollerblading experience and in the beginning found it tough to skate fast and still stop in time to throw or block a punch. But according to the actor, he started to get the hang of things when he just kept his skates on all day. Ty Chris is best known for his 2010 drop from the Eiffel Tower onto a vert ramp which broke the world record for the highest inline skate jump, but he also performed Caine Wise's leap from the 2nd floor balcony of the Great Hall in the Natural History Museum, which doubled for Calic's Palace. And he flew through Ely Cathedral, which doubled as the chapel on Titus's ship. Caine Wise is a genetically engineered human whose DNA was spliced with that of a wolf. Director Lana Wachowski discovered that real wolves hunt in packs and that wolves exiled from the pack, as Caine was in Jupiter Ascending, almost always die unless they become a super hunter. Caine's splice of wolf DNA enhances his skills and heightens his senses. Over 1.3 million Swarovski crystals were used on the film's costumes. Jupiter's white and ruby gown, for example, features hundreds of crystals as well as handmade flowers and a headdress of ruby flowers and more crystals. Also, 3D printing was used to create both Jupiter's headdress and some of the jewelry seen in the movie. The movie's first big action sequence, which begins at Chicago's Willis Tower and darts under bridges and above the city skyline, is a blend of physical stunts by the actors and stunt doubles, practical location shots, visual effects and green screen stage work. It took an amazing 8 months of planning to carry out the aerial work in that scene. First, the Jupiter Ascending crew perfected the stunt choreography in the safe environment of Warner Brothers Studios in Leavesden in the UK. After that, they did test runs in Long Beach, California to confirm that performers suspended from helicopters could carry out a series of flying poses while being filmed by cameras positioned on other helicopters. Once filming proper began, parts of downtown Chicago were closed in the early morning and nightfall for 2 weeks. This was so that low-level helicopters with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis' stunt double suspended from them could fly around buildings while a second helicopter filmed the action. At the same time, a third helicopter filmed background plates for the hundreds of visual effects shots of downtown Chicago's destruction. On top of this, there were 4 camera crews on rooftops along the route to capture additional footage. Because big action chase scenes are so complicated, they're typically shot in daylight or at night to give filmmakers as much time as possible to get all the shots they need. However, the Wachowskis wanted to film just before sunrise to capture the unique look and feel of that time of day. That meant their shoot had a very tight schedule, just 30 minutes from 5:15 AM to 5:45 AM to be precise. To capture the best action shots on location, the movie's visual effects supervisor Dan Glass and cinematographer John Toll created a new 6-camera rig named the Panicam, which was fixed to a helicopter. This new rig captured super wide-angle views at very high resolutions for many shots, which the crew later painted their CG images onto. CG creature Gregan, who's one of Balaam's deadly royal gods, is a sort of 7-foot tall lizard with a 20-foot wingspan and a whip-like tail. To prepare for his motion capture performance, actor Ariane Bakare, who portrays Gregan, studied the movements of lizards such as Komodo dragons and aimed to combine human intelligence with a reptile's agility and unpredictability. The design of the spaceships in Jupiter Ascending was influenced by the history of transportation and the fact that rich people have always travelled in style. The Wachowskis wanted to reflect this by giving their spaceships a sense of opulence they thought was generally missing in sci-fi movies. The film's various spacecraft are sleek and agile, with designs inspired by nature, for example insects or birds of prey. Production designer Hugh Baitup adapted the hallways and display areas at London's Natural History Museum to create the set of Calic's Palace. Later, gilded domes and spires were added digitally. The chapel scene on Titus's ship was filmed at Ely Cathedral in Cambridgeshire, England. Production designer Hugh Baitup combined the cathedral's sandstone Gothic features with modern steel-framed window structures and light fixtures created by set decorator Peter Walpole and the prop department. As for the overall look of Titus's home, that was influenced by a variety of styles including Gothic and Art Deco architecture, as well as the huge pillars of Old English churches and the wood finishes and brass or gold trim of mid-19th century luxury yachts. Ballum's home is a vast space which includes a lab and refinery and brings to mind both a steel mill and a super collider. To create that world, the crew constructed enormous sets at Leavesden Studios, and the visual effects team surrounded those sets with floor-to-ceiling green screens. Ballum's world is a spin on Gothic and industrial styles with added opulence. Well, there you have it, 12 things you probably didn't know about Jupiter Ascending. Now tell me, what's your favourite sci-fi movie? If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more things you didn't know, plus weekly movie reviews and interviews. Thanks for watching, yippee-ki-yay movie lovers!